A member of JFK Jr.'s inner circle says he was at a crossroads at the time of his death 20 years ago today. And foremost in his mind was his rocky marriage to Carolyn Bessette.
They were constantly bickering and fighting and over a whole series of things, whether or not to have a family.
Longtime friend and historian Steve Gillon is the author of America's Reluctant Prince. He interviewed many of John's closest friends, some of whom have never spoken out before.
John, in that last year, told some people that he was thinking about getting a divorce. We'll never know whether or not they would have worked out their differences.
Gillon is also revealing the cause of that infamous fight in New York's Battery Park before John and Carolyn married. He says they were feuding over Carolyn's ongoing complaint that John let people walk all over him. But when it came to protecting Carolyn herself, John was fierce.
Don't do that. You don't come up to my girlfriend when she's on the beach alone.
The author says John had a love-hate relationship with the press.
He found the media to be intrusive. On the other hand, if he wasn't in the news for a little while, he'd find a way to get into it. I mean, it was not a coincidence that John would go be out in Central Park with his shirt off.
And this was the moment Inside Edition reported the terrible news in 1999.
The loss of John Kennedy's plane has touched the entire nation in an astonishing way.
It came, the book says, at a time John was embracing his family's political legacy.
You write that JFK Jr. had political ambitions.
There's no doubt that John, in the last couple of years of his life, was considering going into politics.
Gillon, who first got to know John at Brown University, is also sharing one of the last photos ever taken of his friend just 4 days before the plane crash. He's posing in Toronto with a businessman who was considering an investment in John's magazine, George. He's holding crutches because, ever the daredevil, he'd broken his ankle in a paragliding crash.
Why are you finally writing this book 20 years after his death?
Like most of John's friends while he was alive, I protected his privacy. And now I feel, as his friend and also as an historian, that I have a responsibility to preserve his legacy. John was an incredibly decent, down-to-earth, unpretentious guy.
Bye-bye.